Every great transformation begins not with a giant leap, but with a single step taken every day. Most people believe that success requires massive action, luck, or some special secret that others possess. But the truth, as I have learned over years of discipline and silence, is far simpler. It is the small daily habits, the quiet, consistent actions repeated when no one is watching, that shape the strongest minds and the most peaceful souls. When I was young, I had no wealth, no power, no connections. I only had my discipline. Every morning I would rise before the sun, not because I wanted to, but because I refused to let the world decide my pace. Over time, I realized that true strength is not built in one great moment, but in the thousand invisible moments of self-respect that we practice each day. So let me share with you 10 small daily habits that can completely change your life forever. The first habit is to keep promises to yourself. You can lie to the world, but never to your own reflection. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," and you don't, you weaken the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Success doesn't vanish because you're lazy. It fades because you've stopped believing yourself. Think of it like watering a plant. Every promise kept is one drop of water. You may not see growth immediately, but over time, you'll watch confidence blossom. When I trained in the monastery, we were taught that a warrior's first victory is not over others, it's over his own excuses. You don't need to do everything perfectly. If you said you'll meditate for 10 minutes and manage 5, do 5. If you promised to write a page and only wrote a paragraph, write it anyway. Because the goal is not perfection, the goal is consistency. Confidence grows from trust, and trust is born when you do what you said you would. The second habit is to plan tomorrow before you sleep. Most people end their day scrolling through chaos, and then they wonder why they wake up lost. A mind without direction is like a ship without a compass. It moves, but it never arrives. Before you close your eyes, decide how your next day will unfold. Write down 3 things: what you must do, what you should do, and what you could do if time allows. It takes less than 2 minutes, but it programs your subconscious mind to prepare for action. I have seen students who once woke up confused and tired become sharp and calm after just 1 week of nightly planning. Why? Because when the mind sleeps with clarity, it wakes with purpose. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your preparation. The third habit is to move your body every day. You don't need a gym or expensive equipment. Your body itself is the temple and the tool. Movement keeps your energy alive. When the body becomes still for too long, the mind begins to rust. You don't need to run a marathon, you just need to move. Stretch, walk, breathe deeply, lift something heavy, feel the life inside your muscles. In the monastery, movement was meditation in motion. Every kick, every breath, every stance was not for strength alone, but for mastery over laziness. Remember, energy doesn't come from sleep alone, it comes from motion. When you move your body, you awaken your spirit. The fourth habit is silence. In a world that screams for attention, silence is a superpower. Most people fear silence because it forces them to meet themselves. But silence heals the noise of the mind. When you sit quietly, you begin to hear the whispers of truth that busyness hides. I learned that wisdom doesn't enter a loud mind. It only enters a still one. Spend 10 minutes each morning in silence. Not scrolling, not thinking, just breathing. The world will seem clearer, lighter, more manageable. Silence teaches you that not every battle needs your reaction. Some things lose power when you stop responding. The fifth habit is gratitude. The mind trained for gratitude cannot fall into misery. You cannot be truly angry and grateful at the same time. Every morning before you reach for your phone, reach for a thought of gratitude. Thank the breath in your lungs, the food on your table, the people who still care for you. Gratitude doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you choose to focus on what's good, even when life isn't. When I trained under my master, he told me, the moment you stop seeing blessings, you start creating suffering. Gratitude doesn't change the world outside you, it changes the world inside you. And that's where peace begins. The sixth habit is discipline over motivation. Motivation is like fire. It burns bright but fades quickly. Discipline is the sun. It rises every day whether you feel like it or not. People often wait for the right mood to begin something great. But the great ones begin first and let the mood follow. You don't wait to feel strong to train, you train to become strong. You don't wait to feel confident to act, you act until confidence grows. In life, discipline will give you what motivation never can: stability. When you master discipline, you no longer need to be pushed by inspiration because you are pulled by commitment. The seventh habit is to speak less and listen more. Every word you speak is energy leaving you. Most people waste their strength trying to prove, explain, or argue, but growth happens in listening, not talking. A wise person listens to understand, not to reply. The quieter you become, the more you begin to notice patterns, truths, emotions that others miss. The great mistake of our age is believing that volume equals wisdom. It doesn't. You gain more power by observing silently than by shouting loudly. Choose your words like a master chooses his tools, carefully and with purpose. The eighth habit is to read or learn something new daily. A single new idea can change the direction of your life. Learning keeps your mind alive, your creativity awake, and your spirit young. You can read a page, watch a meaningful talk, or listen to a few minutes of something that expands your mind. The goal is not to know everything, it's to never stop growing. As long as you are learning, you are living. Once you stop learning, you start decaying. Feed your mind the way you feed your body, and it will repay you with clarity, creativity, and calmness. The ninth habit is to be kind, not weak, but kind. Kindness is not a sign of softness, it is proof of strength. It takes courage to stay kind in a cruel world. I once met a man who lost everything: his home, his business, even his family, but he still greeted every person with a smile. I asked him why. He said, "Because life took much from me, but I won't let it take my heart." That moment taught me that no one can steal your inner peace unless you hand it to them. Be kind even when others are not. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. And the 10th habit, perhaps the most powerful one, is to reflect every night. Before you sleep, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do well today? What did I learn today? What can I do better tomorrow? This simple ritual will change your life because it turns every day into a lesson. You stop sleepwalking through your days and start living consciously. Reflection transforms mistakes into wisdom and repetition into mastery. Without reflection, days blur into each other. With reflection, every day becomes a stepping stone toward greatness. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young student who came to me frustrated, saying, "Master, I've been training for months, but I see no progress." I asked him to bring me a stone. I told him to drop a single drop of water on it every day. After weeks, he said nothing changed. After months, he said still nothing. But after a year, the stone had a mark, a hollow shaped by the persistence of a single drop. I told him, "This is you. Change doesn't shout, it whispers through consistency." The greatest transformations in life are not sudden. They are the quiet results of what you do repeatedly. You see, you don't need to change your whole life overnight. You just need to master your next hour, your next morning, your next decision, because your days build your destiny. Each of these habits, keeping promises, planning ahead, moving your body, embracing silence, practicing gratitude, living with discipline, listening deeply, learning daily, staying kind, and reflecting each night, are the small drops that carve the stone of your future. So today I challenge you, not to do everything, but to start something. Choose one habit and begin. Be patient with yourself, stay consistent, and remember that every giant oak was once a small seed that refused to give up. The person you dream of becoming is already waiting inside you. You just need to show up every day to meet them. And if these words awaken something in you today, don't let it fade. Act on it. Start tonight. And if this message gave you strength like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Daily Path to Strength so together we can walk the path of self-mastery, discipline, and inner peace. This is your time. Small daily habits, big lifelong change. Remember, greatness is not built in a day, it's built daily.